MBA is a consultancy business. MBA is not my first business. MBA came out of me selling a business in the sector. So I made a bit of money doing that. Got asked by 3i to have a look at a business they were invested in Telford called UBM. And there met a guy called Tom Mulvaney. Tom had been financial director at Cornea, the big aluminium systems guys, and had tried to do a management buyout at Cornea. So two things happened if you're going to do a management buyout. But Tom got to the altar with the Americans. They decided they didn't want to sell the UK business, and he'd exited. So he was working, and my background is manufacturing and MD in a medium-sized business in the sector. Tom's background, obviously finance, so we were both working for 3i, who were invested in the business in Telford. I was working on the operations and the making things side, and Tom working on the finance side. And we had one of those evenings in the pub that went, well, we both used consultants in the sector, not been terribly impressed. Found lots of people who could tell us what the problems were. We kind of knew what the problems were. We were interested in solutions, making things happen, and that's where MBA came from. So we started out 1998, manufacturing and financial consultancy. Our business is about adding value to clients' businesses. That's our product, if you like. A bit less tangible than a machine or a window, but that's what we sell, if you want to put it like that. You know, if we come and charge you 10 grand to go and do some work for you, make you £20,000, we're cheap. So that's really what the whole essence of MBA is about. Goes right through the supply chain. So we've got clients, you know, who are at the very biggest end. We've got clients who are multinational, and we've got clients who are down around the sort of 1 million, 2 million turnover. So it varies. It varies right the way. And the kind of work that you do with those businesses is obviously different. But yeah, from a size point of view, all of them. Yeah, very quickly we ran up against the people problem. I mean, we'd identified it in our own businesses. People are the differentiator. They're the only things that make a difference. If you look around, well, our sector, no unique product, no unique route to market, no unique customer. So the people in the business are the things that make the difference. So we'd be working with clients and we'd say to them, you know, it's great paying us to come in here, but actually you need someone in the business who lives it and loves it. So might be finance director, might be manufacturing director, might be MD, sales director. So they'd say to us, well, push off and find one of them. And our experience of trying to do that with recruitment consultants was really difficult. Recruitment tends to be seen as fees based, but we were trying to solve problems. We were actually trying to get top performing people into clients, and very often we were going to work with those people after we'd helped find them. So a double incentive to make sure that we actually got this absolutely right. So we went away and studied the problem. You know, how do we get top performing teams in businesses? And there's an element about recruiting. There's an element about retaining people. So you want to keep the ones that are good. And then developing people. You know, recruitment's the last place to start, really. You should start by looking at who you can develop in your business. So those three things essentially sum up kind of what we do and around the people side of things. So, you know, our recruitment side is a fairly sizable part of what MBA does, and lots of people will know us for recruitment and not for the other things that we do. But it's a different process. It's much more client focused. It's much more like process outsourcing than it is straight recruitment. We don't measure fees, we measure retention rates. What are we interested in talking about? We're interested in talking about whatever's interesting in the sector. So what's interesting to clients? And it might be sales, it might be route to market, it might be you know, increasingly right now as business is picking up, it's about capacity, and it's about how do I get more out of what I've got, and you know, making money. That's always of interest to people. They always want to talk about that. I always want to talk about that. That's interesting stuff. So yeah, you know, let's talk about what's interesting. Let's talk about what clients find interesting. Let's talk about what's hot in the sector.